Well, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the Surrey Board of Trade. I'm Anita Huberman, CEO, and we are Surrey's city building business organization, one of the top 10 in our nation. There's 450 of us in every city, every town in our beautiful country, and we are there to advocate for you, to instigate change at the different levels of government, to be your concierge of connections, and to ensure we are utilizing you to build local business connections for global opportunities, cost-saving benefits, time-saving benefits, you name it, we do it for you to ensure that Surrey remains an opportunity city. Now, for this session, if you do have any questions while the facilitator is speaking, please use the chat function in this digital Zoom technology. You will have a chance afterwards, if time allows, to raise your hand, and the facilitators will recognize you and you can ask your question as well. Before I introduce the facilitator, I wanted to just let you know that we are living in very uncertain economic times. And we have Canada's only rapid response business center to support businesses to create that digital connection, that you need for supports for your business. We have the research component so that you can start planning for the future, short-term and long-term. We are providing you with the tools that you need. We know that in our membership in Surrey, there is a diverse industry base, and every single business has different needs, especially during the pandemic. So call the Surrey Board of Trade, and we are here to help you. Our rapid response business coordinator is John Lim, but give us a call, 604-581-7130, and ask for John Lim or even any of the Surrey Board of Trade staff. We are here for you to be your rapid response business center during these pandemic times. And now to introduce your facilitator. She is absolutely amazing. She's a no-nonsense dynamo, born to catapult passionate entrepreneurs and thought leaders to build businesses. She's one of North America's top business influencers, best-selling author, a two-time TEDx speaker with over 2.5 million views. Yes, 2.5 million views. She co-founded her first seven-figure business a few years out of her teens and quickly became one of the most awarded branding firms in Canada, including Canada's best small and medium-sized entrepreneur of the year. She's a fitness fanatic, from being an avid yoga to deadlifting over 250 pounds. Please welcome me in joining our brand strategist, best-selling author, and a motorcycle lover, Isabelle Mercier-Turcotte. Isabelle, over to you.
Thank you, Anita. I'm so happy to be here. Marketing is such an important and vital ingredient for business growth and creating more impact and influence. So I'm happy to be here to talk about helpfulness is the new hustle. And it's going to be all about how to rapidly grow your business, your impact, and your influence by serving, not selling. Now, if you're someone who want more clients, which of course you would, everybody would, but you hate selling, then welcome to the new era that you will love, which is the era of helpfulness. I think we can all love being more helpful. And the question that I have for everyone is your marketing so helpful that people would happily pay for it? I totally believe that, and I have seen undeniable proof that the key to breaking through the noise isn't to be louder, it's becoming more profoundly helpful and more profoundly relevant. And operating from a true place of generosity, a true place of helpfulness is what your ideal clients resonate with. It is what your ideal clients are attracted to. Because, we all know that if we sell something, right? If you sell something, you make a customer today. But if you help and delight someone, you earn a customer for life, because help beats hype every time. Help beats hype every time. And I'm sure that you would agree that in the middle of a whole lot of uncertainty right now, and uncertainty, is uncertainty unsettling? Oh, hell yes, it is. But in this time of age that we're in, this era, help beats hype, period. And, as you said, Anita, at the very beginning, we are in uncertain times right now. And is that scary? Yes, it is. And I don't know anyone who gets up in the morning and goes, I love uncertainty. It's so much fun, let me hit it. No, nobody wakes up that way. But here's the thing. In every problem, therein lies the next solution, right? And in every solution, therein lies the very next problem. And this time, right now, will define what kind of entrepreneur you are and what kind of entrepreneur you want to become. Because being an entrepreneur comes with a lot of responsibilities. Entrepreneurs are problem solvers. Entrepreneurs, everything has been created on this planet. Everything that's been created on this planet has come from solving a problem from an inventor and an entrepreneur. Your prospects and clients, they need and they want your help now more than ever. And this, I believe, is the single greatest business opportunity since probably electricity, actually, in my opinion. And if you look past the old ways of marketing, right? And if you look past the old ways of customer service, what you'll find is a once in a lifetime opportunity to massively propel your business forward in ways that were unthinkable even just 5 or 6 months ago. The key to breaking through customer cynicism and your competitors' messaging clutter is, as I said earlier, not by shouting louder. It's becoming truly relevant and massively helpful. Helpfulness, in my opinion, is the new hustle. And my hope is for our time together today to inspire you to become an entrepreneur that lives and breathes and operates to make people's lives better, to make people's lives, your team, your suppliers, your clients, life better by serving, not selling. Now, I'm known as the Simon Cowell of branding, positioning, and business growth. And Simon Cowell is not loved by everyone, but I choose to see this as a huge compliment because this guy sure knows how to spot and catapult talent forward. I am, however, a hell of a lot more fashionable. Let's put it this way. Now, in the past 25 years, I've created a 7-figure branding agency right out of my teens. I've also created a 7-figure coaching business. I've produced and hosted the #1 branding online TV show called Lead TV. I've worked with small and local and inspiring clients, as well as large, iconic brands. I won Entrepreneur of the Year, and I'm one of North America's top business influencers. I'm also, as Anita said earlier, a 2 times TEDx speaker with over now 2.6 million views as it grows. But I'm not saying this to go, oh, Isabelle, this is so good. No, I'm telling you this because I have been through my fair share of reinvention and reposition to become and stay the first, the best, or the only in my 25 years in being in business. And I've done that also successfully with hundreds of entrepreneurs and thought leaders around the world to fulfill my quest to make life better for others and for myself by being of utmost service. Because being of service feels amazing, first of all, and it gets people talking. If you want to grow your business with more ease, get people talking about you, right? It's the easiest way. The easiest way to grow a business in any economy, COVID or not, is for your customers to grow it with you. But that only occurs, of course, if you deliver a service or a product that people want and a customer experience that's worth talking about. Word of mouth influences more than 50% of all purchases on the planet. Yet we take this golden fact for granted every day. Every day we assume that our customers will talk about us, but they won't unless you give them something to talk about. HelloFresh, for example, the food, right? You buy some ingredients and you cook it yourself. HelloFresh leverages word of mouth beautifully with their Sharing is Caring campaign, which is basically, I can actually buy a box or gift a box to someone else, and sharing is caring. Pop Chips, if there's fans out there about chips, Pop Chips does the same. They know that having a happy customer advocate for the goodness of their products is way more effective than any other marketing strategies. When you want to grow and grow fast, of course, that is. I was raised in a hairdresser salon, and my mom rocked it. Man, this woman was amazing. She lived to surprise and delight her customers. You know, she was unbeatable for customer service, and as a result, she constantly had a 3-month waiting list. And listen to this, we were in a village of no more than 2,000 people at the time. And here's what I learned by working with her. I learned to listen to the unsaid, right? People say a lot between words. They say a lot with their energy, their body language. I also learned to always look for ways to wow and delight. I learned to serve with love, with attention, and with intention. Remembering that Jane loves peppermint tea with 1 ice cube in it. Remembering that Paul loves a 10-second cold water rinse, you know, at the end of his shampoo. I learned that the little things make a big difference. And I remember being about 9 years old, you know, I was busy designing hairstyles and massaging people's scalps and hands to make waiting fun, to make it relaxing instead of frustrating and stressful. Nobody likes to wait. Walt Disney World does that very well. You know, you're entertained throughout waiting. That's the key here, is the little things that actually make a difference, right? And for me and everyone, I know that for my mom's clients, you coming to our salon was a treat. It was a treat that people craved. It was fun, it was pampering, and it was pure fuel for the soul. And every day my mom would say to me, Isabelle, who will you make life better for today, girl? Or she'd say, you know, today is a beautiful day to make life better. And that's what I want to double click on with you today. So on the agenda, what we'll do is I'll share with you why the fight for attention is getting more difficult every day, and why most communication efforts fail. We'll talk about, I'm going to share a threesome that's going to change your life. And please get your head out of the gutter there. I'm not talking that kind of threesome. And I'm going to share with you some cost-effective marketing ideas designed to help you build trust and, of course, make life better. And I'll also share with you a few resources to help you implement what you learned today, because knowing something is one thing, but implementing is what truly gets results. And of course, if you have any questions, you can write them in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer them at the end of the presentation. Now, can you solve algebra by chewing bubblegum? No, of course we can't do that, right? Yet, that's what people are doing when it comes to their marketing every day. Most business owners do not know what they stand for. Most business owners do not know what their brand stands for. They do not know what their clients and prospects need and want the most. They do not know what makes them different, and most of all, how to effectively communicate that difference. And let me tell you, if you don't know what makes you different, and you can't explain it in a simple and differentiating way, you can't expect your clients and prospect to find you or choose you. 8 billion video views daily on Facebook from 550,000 million. What am I saying? From 550 million users. That's a lot of video views. 100 billion Google searches every month. 70 billion blog posts, and that's on WordPress alone. And there are 4 billion people using social media every single day. And there are millions of businesses with long runways, meaning they have a hell of a lot more money to invest in marketing than you do, which makes their runway for being in business much longer than yours. You can't beat them at this game. You can't outrun them on their own highway, but what you can do is you can take a trip on a different runway. What those stats are telling me is that there's a hell of a lot of people that are looking for solutions, looking for the next thing to help them move the needle forward. And by the way, sending one email to sell your solution is not an effective conversion strategy. A lot of people think, my thing is not working, I sent an email and nobody bit. It's like, well, no, you can't. That's not a strategy for conversion. Instead of trying to sell something, be more relevant, be more extremely helpful. Now, having said that, being relevant and helpful is, again, easier said than done. And it's also much easier when you are crystal clear about who you are, right? When you know and own what your brand stands for. Be clear about what business you're in, right? Be clear about what you want to be known for, because that should be the driving force behind all of your marketing and all of your communications. Most people think that branding is a logo and a website. Well, is a logo and a website important to a brand? Of course it is. Branding is so much more than that. Branding is how people feel when they buy your product or service, right? It's how people feel about the experience that you provide, because people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Brands are defined by people and emotions, not by companies and markets. Knowing what your brand stands for means having a clear brand DNA. And I'll talk to you about what a brand DNA is. A brand DNA is basically the foundation that makes you you, right? It's designed to unleash your genius in ways that resonates with your ideal clients. And there are 10 key ingredients to having a clear and strong brand DNA. But these four, the four that I'm going to share here, are a great start. First, it's your internal mission, right? How you want to leave people feeling. I don't care that you have a mission statement. Nobody cares that you have a mission statement. What's important is that you are on a mission with your team to make life better. At Leap Zone, our internal mission is to leave people feeling on fire and unstoppable. It's why we do what we do. The second ingredient is your brand promise. And your brand promise, that is your measurable accountability. It's what you will deliver come rain or shine. And it's what your clients absolutely want and need. Our promise at Leap Zone is we promise clarity, pivotal shifts, and momentum. And we deliver that come rain or shine. The third ingredient is your X factor, right? That's the thing that makes you different and irresistible. It's the tipping point. If someone wants to work with you and then you actually start communicating why you're different and why people choose you, that is the tipping point for which they will choose you instead of someone else. And being clear on that is vital for business. And you have to be clear about that before you start marketing and writing content, because that's what needs to be communicated. So our X factor at Leap Zone is we are a branding, a marketing, and a coaching agency all under one roof. And what that means is when clients work with us, they get to work on all aspects of their business, right? They work on the branding, the marketing, and the business growth strategies. They work on outcome, overcome. They work on growth and fulfillment. And that totally sets us apart from other branding, marketing, and coaching agencies. And then the fourth ingredient is your interrupter. That's your provocative brand stand. The interrupter is something, it says it, right? It divides the room. It interrupts so that your message can be heard and seen and understood. Our interrupter is, we believe that you need to be massively relevant and helpful, or you do not stand a chance. You will die. Your interrupter alone, by the way, can give you months of content inspiration, because an interrupter needs to be proven. So your goal with your content is to prove this day in and day out. So now what I want to do is introduce you to what I said at the beginning, the threesome that will change your life and your business forever. And it comes with a bit of a warning, because this pledge requires a hell of a lot of guts. You know, it requires courage and guts, yet it will bring huge rewards. It takes guts and courage, you know, to create amazingly helpful material and then give it away for free, or give it away for name and email, which is the currency online, by the way. The online currency is eyeballs and email address. It takes guts and courage to put yourself out there and tell it like you see it, and, you know, have people disagree with you. It takes guts, it takes courage to trust that your people, your tribe, your prospects and clients will reward you eventually with their attention and their business. And it takes guts and courage to go above and beyond the call of duty, right? To make a real difference. And it's massively rewarding. So what I want to do now is I want to look at the first ingredient of the helpful pledge, which is outshine. Kindness makes a big difference. This is all about creating or highlighting acts of kindness and continually inspire your customers and prospects to share theirs, and to do that through your brand. FedEx, they have Made Possible By campaign. Their team members and their community actually does random acts of kindness. And you may have heard of this one, but there's a FedEx driver one day that took the time out of his busy day to shovel snow from a porch and a sidewalk of a woman who'd recently lost her husband to cancer. And it was actually caught on a surveillance camera. Now, what does that do, right? It brightens someone's day, and better yet, it inspires others to do the same. That news went viral and was highlighted in the news for weeks. Now, FedEx's internal mission is to leave people feeling cared for. That's the goal here, is to have your internal mission lived throughout what you do with your team, with your suppliers, with your clients. At LeapZone, we have a campaign called Love Matters. And Love Matters is where everyone on our team is responsible to gift a coaching session or an equine guided transformation session for someone who needs it but can't afford it. And we also have a thing for leaving Margarita's book, or we love leaving things behind. You know, we'll leave Margarita's book behind on a bench somewhere. I love to leave a $5 or a $10 bill in random places, in books and chapters. When I try a pair of jeans, for example, sometimes I like to leave a $5 bill in there, just to surprise and delight the person that's going to try these jeans after me. I've been told recently, oh, I wish I was your size. The person would go into the stores trying the size. Oh my God, that's funny. However, as you hear there, this is in alignment with us wanting to leave people feeling on fire and unstoppable. Ritz-Carlton, they have the whole going above and beyond the call of duty. They turned a lost teddy bear, I'm sure you've heard of this on YouTube. They turned a lost teddy bear into a viral sensation. There's a kid that actually left his teddy bear behind. And my God, what a devastation. The parents were already in flight going back home. And you know what they did is they found the teddy bear, and they actually made the teddy bear extend his vacation. So they took pictures of the teddy bear being at the pool, at the spa, at the food, at the restaurant. And they would send emails to the parents and the little boy, letting him know when the teddy bear was going to come back. And that made a massive difference for this kid. And it's been a massive, it went viral, as I said, for them. So again, it's about going above and beyond. And for Ritz-Carlton, their internal mission is to leave people feeling like family. And when you align everything you do with your internal mission, you have ideas to do things like this. So my question to you is, how do you want to leave people feeling? And what will you implement in your business today to deliver that feeling? Because a brand that shines with kindness is a brand that makes life better. And a brand that makes life better gets rewarded with the satisfaction of contribution and a whole lot of attention from media and ideal clients. And with more attention, we can create more impact. So what I'd love for you to suggest to do is to make a list of 12 acts of kindness that align with your brand foundation and implement one of those right away. It'll make you feel great, and it'll make people talk about you and promote you and share you. All right, so now let's look at the second ingredient, is out-teach. As I said earlier, in every problem, therein lies the next solution. And in every solution, therein lies the next problem. Be a brand that contributes in sharing and teaching what you know. That's key. It's super important. You're good at what you do. Share that brilliance freely. Sharing, in my opinion, is caring, and caring creates trust. And trust turns prospects into customers, and then customers into loyal fans. So Dunk is a pool company. So ideas to outteach, right? This company, what they did during the crash of 2009 is nothing short of a little miracle here. As you know, there was a crash in 2009, and you know what? I think you can imagine that if you can't put food on the table, it is certainly not a purchase that you're going to do to buy a pool for your backyard, right? So what they decided to do is they thought, you know what, we might need to fold here, but let's not leave defeated here. Let's actually do something about it. So what they did is they started answering every pool related questions they could find online. They searched for it, they would find questions, and then they actually started answering all the questions. And by doing that, they went from certain death to being the most trusted pool company in North America. All they did is decided to be helpful and educate their clients and prospects about what to do, what not to do in a daily Q&A blog post. Dunk's promise is healthy and a happy backyard. A healthy and a happy backyard. Trello is an amazing task and project management tool. Trello has a little mascot called Taco. And Taco gives me tips and all their customer tips every single month. This company is super helpful and has helpful and creative ways to share and use Trello for just about anything. I get bombarded by newsletters every month. Taco from Trello, I read from top to bottom. Why? Because I know every time I have a read on their stuff, I learn tips, how to save time, how to be more efficient, how to actually better use Trello and use Trello in more ways than already that I'm using, right? So, and during COVID, they actually had a cooking collaboration on a Trello board to help their users really collaborate on food and ideas through their tool collaboration. I thought that was actually quite brilliant of them to do that. Trello's promise is an organized mind and workspace. And I will tell you, they teach constantly about delivering on that for sure. Leap TV. Leap TV is a branding and business growth show from Leap Zone. I'm the host of Leap TV. And I'll tell you, I invest a lot of time in sharing free, entertaining, and valuable strategies to help business owners be the first, the best, or the only. I have well over 70 Leap TV episodes and over 50 Leap Tools tutorials. All of that for free. Our promise, as I said earlier, is clarity, pivotal shifts, and momentum. And we want to do that for free. We want to do that to engage and educate our prospects and our clients so that their eyeballs are on us instead of someone else. And that's huge contribution to our growth. McDonald's has a real food series. Now, McDonald's is not my favorite restaurant. However, literally, they had so many questions about, is this even real potatoes? Is this real meat? A lot of people on Twitter and social media was, the word I'm looking for is basically doubting them and their food with reason. But yet what they did is they actually started a real food series that says it like it is. And it's real people, real farmers in their own fields answering those questions. Like, hey, I'm John from this farm, and Joe on Twitter had a question about, are these real potatoes? Yes, they are. They are real potatoes. I am standing in my field, right? So they have a whole series about saying it like it is. So what can you do to educate your prospects and your clients, right? Facebook Live series, your own podcast. Better yet, go on other people's podcasts so you can actually engage with a new community. Valuable weekly articles on LinkedIn, an evergreen webinar, an evergreen masterclass, an audio program. Because a brand that educates freely and frequently is a brand that makes life better. And a brand that makes life better gets rewarded with the satisfaction of contribution and a whole lot of attention from ideal prospects and ideal clients. All right, so now last but certainly not least, the least ingredient here for the Helpfulness Pledge is Outwit, acts of brilliance, right? The smart way to be successful is to be massively helpful and valuable. Because once you're valuable, success has absolutely no choice to reveal itself to you. Success is a byproduct of being of value. Anything you sell, if it's not of value, no matter how great you think it is, it's not of value, therefore it won't be successful, right? So, and when you learn to leverage your customers' creativity and ingenuity and love for your brand, you win. So let's talk about some ideas for Outwit. GoPro is a great example. GoPro highlights the creative ways their customers use their products. You know, skateboarders, surfers, bikers, they all love to showcase their brilliance. And every time they do that, it's an ad for GoPro. Now, GoPro's purpose is to help you capture life as you live it, share the experience, and pass on the stoke. And I know a lot of surfers and skateboarders and bikers who pass on the stoke on a daily basis with just sharing what they're doing with their GoPro. And as I said, every time it's an ad for GoPro. Survivor, the show Survivor is a great example. They actually allow superfans to come up with and design challenges for the show. Imagine, right, being a super fan of the show and having a chance to be a part of the brilliance of that show. That's just brilliant on their part. Simply Piano does it very well as well. They showcase growth and progress really well. What they do is they highlight their customers' progress. If you've ever seen a Simply Piano ad on YouTube, it's not about what Simply Piano can do. It's showing their customers progress 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month, 3 months. That's literally brilliant because it shows the progress. And if you think you're at step 1 and you want to be at step 10 and you can see that you can achieve that in 6-week period, there's no better social proof than that in the world. Vimeo is another example. Vimeo leverages their super fans to help with customer support. How smart is that, right? Their super fan are actually people who deliver support for them. Who better to deliver support than people who actually love the product and know it inside out? That's a hell of a lot more cost effective for them, and it's social proof at the same time. And an example that I could share from my company at LeapZone, when we were promoting our Build to Rock system and program, we created a flash mob in downtown Vancouver, in Gastown, Vancouver, to promote the program. Why? Because we want to leave people feeling on fire and unstoppable, and a talking head video I didn't feel was going to deliver on that. Instead, we had a bunch of people who believe in what we believe assembled together to do something really cool. Contests, case studies, challenges, flash mobs, all free and uber fun ways to outdo yourself and at the same time outwit your competitors. And a brilliant brand that engages their clients and prospects is a brand that makes life better. And I've said it many times already, I'll repeat it again. A brand that makes life better gets rewarded with the satisfaction and contribution and a whole lot of attention. So the impactful threes here: outshine, outteach, and outwit. These are the impactful three. I also call it the threesome of awesome, right? It's three things that can take a business from zero to many millions in a much shorter time frame than any other marketing strategies that I've ever experienced, tested, and driven in the past 25 years. But that comes with a caveat. And it's this: we all, and I see this all the time, we all tell ourselves the exact same lie. And that lie is that our customers are too busy. They're too busy to visit the website, right? They're too busy to watch the masterclass. They're too busy to fill out the online needs assessment form. And none of that is true. It's not about being too busy, because I've seen this time and time again. When you give somebody the information they want in the format that they prefer, when they need it, the time that's necessary to actually consume it suddenly magically appears. So if your marketing isn't working like you want it to, it's not about your customers and prospects being too busy. It's that what you're giving them is not relevant or helpful enough. When people have a problem that is painful enough, they will do and pay attention to anything to find a good solution. I remember when I moved here on the island, I never had property before. Now we have 5.5 acres and we have a very windy, very steep driveway. And that driveway is, it was all gravel. And what a pain in the ass. It's terrible. Moguls every day. We had to rake this thing. I mean, most vehicles could not even make it to our house. I don't know how the previous owners actually tolerated that long. But now, I never noticed any ads for paving and concrete in my life. Why? Because I never had a driveway to pave. The moment that I had this problem be a pain in my neck enough, all I saw was ads on the highway about paving and concrete. And again, when the problem is big enough, things are starting to actually appear magically from your marketing and from what you are promoting or sharing or educating on. And people will trust the people that educate them over and over and over again. I had a client that started working with us 7 years after I started educating them for free. 7 years, that's a hell of a lot more than sending one email and feeling defeated because there wasn't a lot of engagement, right? So the fact is this: your prospects will buy. The question is, will they buy from you or will they buy from someone else? So be louder and lose the battle, or become massively relevant and helpful. Because if you sell something, you make a customer today, right? But if you help and delight someone, you earn a customer for life, because help beats hype every single time. So I think the point that I want to make is when you're crystal clear about how you want to leave people feeling, right? Which is your internal mission. When you're crystal clear about what makes you accountable, which is your promise. When you're crystal clear about what makes you different and relatable, that's your X factor. That's the one thing that tips the needle. And when you're crystal clear about what makes you relevant and seen, which is your interrupter or your room divider. See, the goal is not to do business with everybody. The goal is to do business with people who believe in what you believe and who have the problem, hot enough problem, to want to look for your solution. So when you're crystal clear about all of this, the right people will buy what you offer, assuming that you are the one that's in front of them most often, right? They will buy. They will buy. The question is, will they buy you? And they will buy with the people that they have the most trust. And trust gets earned over time. And by educating and by being of help and being in resonance with your ideal clients, that's what makes the massive difference. I'm telling you, it is the fastest way to growing I've ever seen. And my mom was right then, and she's still right today. Help beats hype every day, and developing a growth strategy that makes life better, right? And brings in ideal clients, that does not happen by accident. That happens by design. And it all starts with you getting the right strategies in place and the right support and the right mentorship to help you get it done and done well. One thing that I know about entrepreneurs is we're very busy delivering our genius. And while we're busy delivering our genius, we're not investing time on the business. We're not investing strategic time that helps us figure out what is the best strategy to actually be the first, the best, or the only. And most entrepreneurs that are busy delivering their genius, again, they're not really clear on how to actually communicate that genius effectively. And that all needs to be skills to master by being, of course, being an entrepreneur requires to master some of those skills. So what I do want to do is I want to offer the opportunity to hop on a clarity call with us. Because I said at the beginning that I was going to give you a few ways to connect with me and my team so that we can possibly take this conversation deeper on what I've shared with you today. And the first opportunity is to get on a clarity call. Is that simple, so that we can identify the number point of leverage for you to be able to increase your relevance and your impact. And one thing I can say with 100% confidence is that my team and I were truly built to work with entrepreneurs and thought leaders who are obsessed about making life better for themselves, for their team, and their clients. And not only that, but entrepreneurs who want to do that in a simple, impactful, and most importantly, differentiating way. And so if that's you, and if you connected with what I've shared today, then you've got everything to gain. All you need to do is just fill out our needs assessment, and that'll give us a chance to get on a call. And it's an opportunity for to get to know each other, and an opportunity for us to see if and how we can help you take your business to a whole new level of influence, impact, and revenue. And that is at leapzonestrategies.com/rise. So rise, that's going to take you directly to that needs assessment. The second thing that I would like to put into your sphere of knowledge here is about our Built to Rock system. And it's to learn and implement the actual Built to Rock system, which includes 12 weeks of coaching, 8 powerful training modules that'll help you quickly position yourself so that you can be the first, the best, or the only. And that truly matters in taking your business to the next level here. And the ultimate outcome of Built to Rock is to get your business architecture, your brand differentiation, and helpfulness marketing in a place that you can thrive through COVID, and of course, well beyond COVID, by creating the amount of income, the amount of impact, and the amount of inspiration that you want in the world. And what is included in Built to Rock is, what Built to Rock will do basically is it'll help you with your brand differentiation and your product and service structure so that you can become indispensable to your clients and your prospects, because becoming indispensable is what we're talking about here in this time together. So part of the process is to help you get crystal clear about what makes you different, what makes you the first, the best, and the only. And you'll also learn strategies to serve rather than sell. So selling indirectly through serving. And by the end of the program, no matter what industry you're in, no matter what the economy does, the goal is for you to be a master at continuously positioning and repositioning yourself and your brand as the number one choice, online or offline, doesn't matter, right? The goal is to be the number one choice for the problem that you solve and the solution that you bring on the table, so that your ideal clients are compelled, right, to go, oh my God, I want to work with you. That's what we want to hear, right? As entrepreneurs, we all want to hear, yeah, I want to work with you. How do we do that? Let's move forward to the next step. And the reason why I wanted to bring Build to Rock to the table today is because of COVID, we do have a massive discount to actually help. COVID time has confused a lot of people. It's a time where everybody is relooking at what they're doing, how they're doing it. And we wanted to make this absolutely a no-brainer, affordable for more people to go through this intelligent brand positioning process so that they can learn ways to communicate what they do in an effective and resonating way. And so if you want to know more about Build to Rock, it's leapzonestrategies.com/outhelp. Now, if you want to grow, which of course I assume you do, because you're part of this amazing organization and you're an entrepreneur on a mission to make life better, otherwise you wouldn't be an entrepreneur. Adapting to the new normal that COVID is creating is absolutely key. And positioning yourself as the first, the best, or the only in the eyes of your ideal customers, right, of your ideal clients, is not an option anymore. Gone are the days where you can just have a seemingly good product or service and sell a ton. Those days are gone. There's way more competition. There's way more noise online, and there's way more solutions that are available, and buyers are way more educated than they were before. This is why educating them by doing marketing that is helpful and resonating is going to actually give you an advantage, a really important advantage. And that's truly the only way now for you to be able to hear, I would be a fool to do business with anyone else but you, regardless of price. And in order to do that, you have to be clear on what we've talked about today. You have to be clear on what you stand for, and you have to be clear on which educational-based marketing strategies, right? Which ways are you going to layer to be present and be always the word I'm looking for is always be the one that people want to listen to, like Taco from Trello for me. As I said, I get bombarded with emails, but the moment that this is in my inbox, I'm like, ooh, I want to read that, because that's important. And I know that I'm going to make myself and my team better as a result of that. And that's the key to actually coming out on top of not only surviving, but thriving through COVID. And I'm literally totally happy. I think we have, 5-10 more minutes here. I'm happy to answer any questions, any double clicking on a conversation, anything that I would have said in the presentation that might have, triggered a question or a, how do I do that? Or anything like this. I wanted to have a little bit of time here at the end to answer questions and double click on subjects that are near and dear to your heart right now around business growth and marketing.
All right. Hi, everybody. It's Luciano here. Yes, I'm interrupting you, Isabelle. I work directly with Isabelle, and there are a few questions here that we can we have time for. So please, if you have any questions, anything that you'd like to double click on, as Isabelle said, please just type it in the chat. If you'd like to just share a gem, like what you liked about the presentation, that would be fantastic too. Isabelle, we did hear from, and I hope I say your name right, Manib, and he had asked what would be a reasonable budget for marketing in these times. So if you could.
A reasonable budget. You know what? Again, it all depends on the amount of impact that you want to create. Like if you said suddenly you want to, in 6 months from now, you want to add 100,000 people that you're allowed to market to in your, in our world, we call that a list, but in the world, it's a community. It's a marketable community. It all depends of the goals and objectives that you have in terms of outcome. However, anywhere between 5 and 10% of gross sales is usually a rule of thumb. And a lot of people often, when it's time to reposition a website or reposition a company, for example, it's not a $2 endeavor, right? It's a many thousands of dollars of endeavor, but you don't do that every year or every 2 years. So a lot of people don't think that for the past 10 years, they haven't put a budget to marketing or to branding. And suddenly there's a bigger lump sum at this stage because there's a lot more work to create. But once the initial boom is created, the rule of thumb is anywhere between 5 and 10% of gross revenue. Now, that doesn't just mean marketing on social media or online email marketing. It could also mean part of the budget goes for joint ventures and people who refer to you giving a kickback. That type of kickback also counts as a marketing budget, right? So there's a variety of different things and ways to actually include specific areas in a marketing budget, but the rule of thumb is anywhere between 5 and 10%. Hopefully that makes that clarifies the question here.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's awesome.
Per year, not in all, per year.
Fantastic. And you know, I know you spoke about X Factor, Isabelle, and I work with you, and I get that that's quite the topic there. But if you were to just state to the folks here today, you've talked about the importance of it, but also if you could speak a little bit more about how to come towards your X Factor. You know, there are a lot of people that do what others, you know, a lot of people do the same things as others. How am I really different from somebody else? So if you could speak a little bit more to the X Factor, that would be very helpful here today.
Yeah, so, you know, the X Factor is the tipping point, right? It's the one thing that really makes you different. And it's the one thing that I would go, oh, you had me at hello. That's kind of the result of a clear X Factor. That's usually the result. How to get to figuring out your X Factor? You have to really be aware of, first, what top of mind problem you solve. Not every problem that you solve, just what is the greatest top of mind in the moment. Once you know, and for who, right? It's very clear. You have to really understand who is this X Factor needs to resonate with and influence. And then once you know the top of mind problem, and then you know who experiences this top of mind problem, then it's a question of really looking at what is everybody's got a methodology, everybody's got a proprietary system, a way to deliver their genius that is unique and different. I'll give you an example. At Leap Zone, part of our X Factor is our trifecta, the Leap Zone trifecta. 3 pillars: positioning, personality, performance. I explain this greatly in other videos, but those are the 3 key. And those 3 pillars break down in 8 key areas for growth. I won't name them all now, but mindset and inner game, sales and marketing, money and KPIs. So that we believe that there's 8 key areas for a business to thrive. And whenever there's one of these key areas that don't thrive, mainly often with small business owners, is all of these areas are not optimally organized, it'll be much harder to grow, let alone scale. That is part of our X Factor. We We know that our methodology is unique. We deliver there are thousands, millions of coaches out there. Nobody has the trifecta process, and nobody does it the way we do it. But we can't just say that we're different. Oh, we're different because I have 25 years experience. No, it's got to be tangible. The X factor in a service business has to take the intangible genius that you have, and it has to actually highlight the tangibility. So instead of just saying, yeah, we have a method, there's a method to our madness, we actually have a visual that explains the three pillars and then the 8 key areas for growth. How did we get to that? Is by digging and asking the question, what is the new normal that I want to create? How do I want to be known in the world? And what is unique about what we do tangibly that actually bridges the gap between what people need and want and your genius? And awesome. That is unfortunately very difficult to do on your own, because when you're in the pickle jar, you can't see the ingredients, right?
That's good, Isabelle. Okay, and we have another question here, and we have less than 3 minutes to answer this. So I will read this out. Hello, I'm new in selling services, not tangible items. Can you please provide more details on how to sell services to employers, but not sounding like you're actually selling? How do you make an impact in the introduction to either via LinkedIn or through cold calls? And this goes back to context. This goes back to being helpful. And like I said, you got 3 minutes.
Okay, this is the beauty here. This is a great question. It's about what is the problem. Most entrepreneurs, they don't, when they're, let me regroup here. This is very important because I have so many things to say about that. Be effective, Isabelle. You cannot provide a solution if the client or the prospect doesn't understand that you get the pain. And most entrepreneurs, they go, I have this solution, I have this solution, I have this solution, I have this solution. Tell me that you understand my problem. So for you, it would be, hey, what is the biggest problem you're experiencing in your, whatever you're selling here as a service in your business? What's the biggest pain in the butt? What is stopping you from growing? From that standpoint, then you actually reiterate that you understand the problem, and you not only understand the problem, but your role is to add to the problem, is to actually go, and this problem, not only does it not allow you to grow and do this and do that, but it probably hinders this and makes this even harder and makes that even harder. Then you get the client or prospect to agree, because they're like, yeah, oh my God, did you bug my house? I feel like you bugged my house. But no, it's just you understanding the problem. Only then can you offer a solution. And that solution, of course, you're going to craft it and communicate it in alignment to what the problem is. If someone says, I want more peace of mind, and you say, I'm selling coaching to help you grow, I don't care. I want peace of mind, right? So it's got to actually answer the problem, and it's got to come from a helpful place, not a selling place. Hey, so what that could look like, and I know we're counting down the seconds here, what that looks like is, this is my approach. This is what I understand your problem to be. Do you agree? Yes. Does it hurt that much? Yes. This is what I can do for you, and this is how I can help. But this is, whether it's me or someone else, this is what you need. It removes the equation of you're trying to sell something. You're just trying to help. And you're opening their eyes as to what they need, whether that's you or someone else. Now, assuming you've built the trust, it's going to be you. That's what I could say in a 2-minute portion here.
Of course, and if you want more information, you can always book a clarity call with that. But there's so much more to say about that for sure. So awesome. Okay, I think we're at time here. So Anita, Heather, Rona, I think we're good to go. Any last words before we end off here, Isabelle?
You know what? All I want to say is truly the importance is to be impactful and be resonating with what your clients and prospects need. And to do that in a helpful manner, in an educational based marketing manner, and freely, so that you can gain the trust. And truly that is what matters right now.
Very good. All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of day.
Thank you. And I look forward to reading some of your needs assessment so that we can continue helping you kick ass. Cheers.
Bye-bye now.